Hello, everybody. My name is Dustin Lehman, Director of Strategic Partnerships for the Elkhorn Area School District. And here is the noon whistle for this week. So last week, we had a great episode with Mr. Phil Brueggemann, and we talked all about what a CTSO is from the staff side. Now we get to hear all about the great things and the reason why I have a job and all of our staff have a job because of the great students that we have at Elkhorn High School. So we are going to talk about CTSOs now from the student perspective. So why don't we start off by introducing ourselves here?
I'm Sean. I'm a member of HOSA. I've gotten involved in physical therapy at the regional level, the Barbara James Service Award, which is just helping out with volunteering and health and community wellness. I'm hoping to go into physical therapy in the future. And I think HOSA has just been able to give me a really good background and has been able to give me some insight into what the career field is like and what it's going to be like going into college.
Hi, I'm Kate. I'm a senior this year, and I'm also primarily involved in HOSA. I've been in it for the past 4 years, and I always knew I wanted to go into the medical field. So right now, I'm planning on going into anesthesiology assisting, which is pretty fun. And I've gotten a lot of opportunities through HOSA to learn a bit more about that. I competed in pharmacology last year, and I competed in medical innovations this year, and I also did Barbara James, the service award for the past 2 years.
Awesome.
All right. Hi, I'm Giselle. I am a junior. I'm in FCCLA, Educators Rising, Hope Squad, Link Crew, and Environmental Club. What I hope to do after high school is go to, I'm hoping to go to Carroll and learn how to be an elementary school teacher.
Awesome.
Hi, my name's Jackson. I'm also a junior. I'm a part of SkillsUSA. I'm actually the president. And kind of like Key talked about HOSA a little bit, SkillsUSA is really good for me because we get to compete in team engineering, which when I get older, I want to be an engineer. So kind of that direct correlation with that and competing with my friends as well.
Awesome.
I'm Tristan. I also am in SkillsUSA, and I do the same competition as him. And so that really just, lets you learn about all the stuff that goes on with engineering. And I'm shooting to be an aerospace engineer and study at University of Michigan.
Awesome. So Tristan, a CTSO, a career and technical student organization. What does that mean to a student? How does that help benefit you besides the great classes that you all are taking? How does the student organization really help kind of extend that learning for you?
So what I see it as is it's kind of like a, club that you go to that helps you learn more about a specific field that you want to get into when you grow older. And yeah, it benefits by being able to let you learn more about that type of stuff that you want to get into.
Awesome. What about HOSA? What has HOSA done for you guys that has kind of extended the learning from your healthcare classes that you've taken here?
I would say it's kind of just narrowed it down into, instead of such a broad explanation like an anatomy and physiology, you're kind of going into everything. But when you kind of are able to go into physical therapy or narrow down into what you really want to do, you're kind of able to get the more specifics into what exactly you're going to be learning about, what exactly your career field's going to be like, and just more in depth.
I don't think it's so critical that students are not only going to a college or some sort of post-secondary education with an intentional next step on what they want to do, but they can really narrow down into, I know I want to do healthcare, but I want to specifically do this pathway. The time and cost savings that is there for you guys to have is pretty amazing. Giselle, how about you talk about some big things happening right now in FCCLA?
So last week, Monday, we just competed at regionals. So many students compete in different areas. There's like the culinary, the baking, and then there's like presentations as well where you kind of do like an oral presentation and then you kind of pick like a topic. I know we had someone compete in like finances, and then we had FCS and then teacher train. So like a bunch of different areas. So yeah.
How many students would you say are in FCCLA?
I would say we have about like 25 to 30 members.
And then you just had a regional competition, I've been told. How many students from there are qualifying from state from Elkhorn?
I think it's about like 14 of us that earned gold or silver and are able to advance to state.
Awesome. How about HOSA? Have you had any regional competitions, or do you have some big things coming up here in the near future?
Yeah, we have. So we have our first like SLC coming up, which is our state leadership conference, and we already did regionals. And I do know quite a few people made it. I know last year, it's definitely less than this year, which is really good. And then that's going to be up in the Dells, which is super exciting. And then we have ILC too, which for Barbara James, at least we can go to for that for both SLC and ILC. But it's really exciting.
What did you guys compete in this year?
I competed in physical therapy.
Physical therapy?
Yep.
And I competed in medical innovations.
Awesome. I have been to the state HOSA conference. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. It's just a big production. I've been to the DECA state competition as well, which is why we don't have anyone right now representing DECA, because DECA is actually at Grand Geneva at the state conference and competitions. We also don't have anyone representing FFA, which is another one of our large chapters here, because they're doing some crazy awesome things at the Capitol right now for FFA Day on the Hill, where they're meeting with legislators to discuss the importance and impact of agriculture education and FFA in the state of Wisconsin. So some great things going on. How about we talk about SkillsUSA? Where is SkillsUSA? Where's the state competition held, and when is that going to take place?
It's going to take place April 7th and 8th, I think it is, and it's up in Madison. So
That's at the Align Energy Center,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
also a pretty big production.
Yeah,
Pretty awesome.
it's definitely cool to see like everything come together in that super big space.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Do any of you have any cool experiences that maybe because of competing in these competitions that you've been able to be exposed to that maybe a student who didn't join these clubs would have been able to experience? Like any relationships or any partnerships, any company conversations, contacts that you've ever
I
come
would
across?
I would personally definitely say I compete in job interview as well for SkillsUSA. So that's like super big, getting like hands-on experience and like getting feedback as well with that. So I would say that definitely helped me in my first job interview. I was definitely going into that very nervous and stuff like that. So kind of having that background experience of like, and I got gold at our district competition. So kind of having that background kind of gave me confidence and stuff like that. So I would say that definitely helped.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I would say you can get a lot of networking through HOSA. We have a really good connection with Open Arms Free Clinic. So that's a really great opportunity to get job shadowing there too. Or even just at the state level too, you meet a lot of really cool people there. And it's just great to talk to them and just get different um, info about just other people from different states, because especially from like Elkhorn, it's a lot of other states have like a lot of big programs and just more like just accessible things that we don't have. Which
Yeah.
I think is
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then beyond that, I feel like when I got into my first job as a PT aide, I think HOSA really just helped streamline that and kind of gave me the background, so they didn't have to teach me as much, and I was able to kind of get into the job a little bit more. And I think it just kind of gave me the background that I needed before I got into that job, and really helped me when I started.
Awesome. So I asked each of you before you came here to talk a little bit about what you guys are all involved in. And obviously it's great. They're in HOSA, Skills, FCCLA, Educators Rising. We're in a lot of great clubs here. But that's not just all that you guys are involved in. I mean, this is an impressive list of things. So Giselle, you said FCCLA, Educators Rising, Hope Squad, Link Crew, Environmental Club. You're lots of things, right?
Yeah.
Kate, you're a wrestling manager on the golf team, Link Crew, Hope Squad, National Honor Society. Tristan, SkillsUSA, Student Council, National Honor Society, FCA, Leadership Council, HOSA. What I'm trying to say is you guys are involved in a lot. And if you look at the poster behind me, making the most of high school, I think what you all are doing right now is you are making the most of your high school experience, which is just amazing and is what our goal for every Elkhorn high school student graduate is. So I guess we will end this with maybe one word of advice for future students, or maybe a reason why students should get involved in all of these extracurriculars, specifically maybe the CTSOs. So you want to start?
Yeah, I think just beyond kind of getting a look into the medical field and what you want to do, it kind of gives you so many other opportunities besides that, getting in volunteering, helping out with your community. And it kind of, when I joined, it kind of opened a new world into, different things I can get involved in and different ways I can help out not only the community, but the health of everyone around me.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean.
Mhm.
Kate?
Yeah. I think it's just a great way to find out what you're interested in because all these CTSOs, they're just such big organizations. There's so much like room and space to grow into those or to find something else that you may like. And I think that's really amazing.
Awesome. Giselle?
Yeah, I don't know. I think putting yourself out there and trying new things is very important. I'd say there's probably a club here that's for someone, like there's a club for everyone here. I don't know. I think it's very important that you try it at least because you might find something that you're really passionate about. I know that's kind of the way it happened for me with FCCLA and Educators Rising. That's how I got passionate about teaching. But yeah, I think just trying new things and you might find something you enjoy.
Absolutely. Jackson?
Yeah, I would definitely say just like, taking the leap, doing the club or the sport or whatever, do it while you can in high school. It's definitely worth it. Keep yourself busy. It's not fun to just sit around. So get involved in as much as you can.
I think it's very important to get involved because I never really knew much about SkillsUSA until Jackson asked me to join, and since then it's been my favorite club. It's just great to know everything that you can do.
Awesome. Well, I want to personally thank all of you for taking time out of your day to come and explain a little bit about your CTSOs. Again, you guys are the reason why, like someone like me, our administration, our staff, we all have jobs here. And the reason why we show up to work every day is because we get to see you awesome rock stars really making the most of high school and doing things the right way. So thank you all so much. And that concludes this week's Noon Whistle. So I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.